All right, lesson 7.3 here, trig ratios. So we're still talking about a right triangle. Let's look at specific case of 3, 4, 5. So let's say 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters. And for the angles, let's say A here, B, and C is the 90 degree there. Okay, so from angle A, dot, 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 3 centimeters is the opposite side. Okay, from angle A, we say 3 centimeters is the opposite side. The 4 centimeters, we call that the adjacent side. Adjacent. Okay. From angle A, 4 centimeters is the adjacent side. And then obviously 5 centimeters is the hypotenuse. Sorry, turn another light on here quick. Okay, from angle B, could also look relative to angle B. So from angle B now, the 4 is actually the opposite. So from angle B, can you see 4 is the opposite? Just getting the terminology down here. We say 3 actually is the adjacent side. Adjacent means next to. Okay, and then 5 obviously is still the hypotenuse. Okay, so from angle B, this is opposite, this is adjacent, this is the hypotenuse. Okay, so it's just relative to what angle you're looking at. So here's the ratios you need to know. If we say the sine of an angle, say A, it's the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. Let's draw an example over here actually. Let's just look at the one up here. So from the sine of A, opposite is going to be the 3. Hypotenuse is 5. So we'd say sine of A is 3/5. Okay. Cosine of A, definition of a cosine is just the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. Okay. So from A, up here, the adjacent side was the 4. We're kind of looking at these here. Adjacent side was 4, so we're saying it's 4 5. And then tangent of A is opposite over adjacent. So from A, opposite was 3, adjacent was 4. Okay, so it's just, we're just defining these terms. Now you could go from B too. Okay, sine of B, oops, if we can see that. Sine of B, sine is still opposite over hypotenuse. That's the definition of sine. It's the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. From B, opposite was 4, and the hypotenuse is 5. So sine of B is 4/5. If we did the cosine of B, from B, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse still, which is 3/5 actually. Adjacent from B is 3, hypotenuse is 5. And then tan, definition of tan is always this, opposite, of B. We got to tell the angle you're relative to. Tan of B is the opposite over the adjacent. So B, opposite was 4, and the adjacent is actually the 3, right? So 4/3. Okay, that's the definition. This is a definition of sine. opposite over hypotenuse. This is the definition of cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. This is the definition of tan, opposite over adjacent. So you got to define where those sides are, and then then you just use these definitions to name out the ratio. So right now it's just the definitions. Later on you'll figure out why that's useful. Here's one you got to do on your own. Add this into your notes there. Okay. Same thing. Let's say ABC. It's always got to be a right triangle. Generally C is the right angle. And let's say this time those sides, we're going to say 10 centimeters, 24 centimeters, and 26 centimeters. Okay, so what you need to do is fill in all these ratios again. Tell me what's the sine of A? What's the cosine of A? What's the tan of A? And do the angle B's also. What's the sine of B? What's the cosine of B? And what's the tan of B? Okay, write out how you calculate these. Just to give you an example, sine opposite over hypotenuse. I'd look over here from angle A, 10 is the opposite. It's really 10 centimeters. I should put the units on there. And hypotenuse is 26. You do need to reduce this, right? 10 over 26, the units cancel out, but 10 over 26 is 5/13. Okay, so do make sure you reduce your answers, but go ahead and fill all these in. That's your basically your assignment today, is just to finish off those notes there. All right, good luck, guys.